Hi, Doris. I thought about sending you a birthday card this year, and I went, well, there are some things that I wanted to share with you. So I'm cutting this video for you. First of all, to tell you how much I love you, but second of all, to wish you a very, very happy birthday. So when I started thinking about doing this video, I started thinking about all the many years that we've been together. And I had to use my calculator just a little bit. But I believe it's been 43 years. And so thank you for sticking with me for all those years through, just being a little kid, dating your son. And I think about things that happen. I think about the time when Don went to come see me and the tree jumped out and bit his car. Actually, it wasn't his car, but I remember some of those things, way back in the beginning where you were just so patient with us. And so I want to just put some of those things together, some of the things that, now if I put them all together, this video would be hours and days long. But some of the things that stood out to me started reminding me of how precious you are to me and how much over the years that I've grown to love you more and more. One of the things, I've got to actually look at my list here because I knew this would be, hard. But one of the very first things I remember is that I believe we were in Mitchell, and you guys had the camper, and it was really the first time Don and I were kind of doing things with you and Ray, and you offered me an apple, and I go, oh, that's kind of unusual to just offer someone an apple after we've eaten. And you go, well, it's to cleanse your palate. It actually, freshens your mouth. And I went, I'd never heard of that before. And that has stuck with me all these years. And throughout the things that I remember you just gently teaching me things like that I had never heard before. And just stuck with me. So I'm going to call them Doris sayings. So there's just a lot of things where you just put a little extra spice in my life. Another thing I remember was that you always had a place for everything. And, when I grew up, we were moving quite a bit and we didn't always have that. And I realized that you had a place for everything. And it's really one of the first times in my life that I saw that. And I just thought you were the most grand, gracious lady because you had all your things and you knew where they were and they were properly taken care of. And I remember one time, oh my goodness, I felt so bad, but you were so gracious in your response. And I had never, we didn't really have a man, my dad wasn't in our life. And so I didn't really know much about hankies. And my grandpa always had a hanky. It was all crumpled up and stuffed in his overalls. But you said something about ironing your hankies. And I said something, oh my goodness, so foolish. It was something to the effect of, well, nobody irons hankies. And you said, well, we do. And I went, oh my goodness, that's a thing. And I never knew that before. So you were so gracious, but those things stuck in my mind because it was just another indicator of what a grand lady you are. What a grand and precious lady. And I think that's why very early on, after Don and I got married, I always spoke to you about you to other people as my favorite mother-in-law. Because when people started talking about their mother-in-laws, and sometimes it wasn't very positive, I said, no, wait a minute. Mine is different. She's my favorite mother-in-law for a reason. And so it was so much fun to brag about you because you made it so easy to do that. I mean, it's always been something very precious for me to talk about my mother-in-law. So, here's another memory. Do you remember when we went to, and this is, farther on, but do you remember when we all drove down to San Antonio for Ethan's graduation from the Air Force? Oh, man, Who knew it would be so cold? Oh, it was freezing down there. But what fun we had. What fun we had. And you and I concocting getting Ray that scooter. Because if you remember, Ray's knees were not good and he couldn't walk. Well, we were down on the boardwalk and there's a lot of walking to be had. So you and I kind of cooked that up to get him a scooter. And then, oh my goodness, what a mad driver he was. That was so much fun. I'm glad that worked out. But we've done other things together too. I remember that you were the first one to bring your camper to the farm and have us hook it up and kind of set it outside our porch so you guys could have your place and, kind of a getaway from all the stuff that was going on at the farm. But it was so cool because after you started doing that, we started having other people do it too. But you guys were the first. That was really neat. What other things? I remember that, this is a good one. I remember how you and I talked for quite a while that both of our husbands snored really horribly. And we got to be talking about how we just didn't get any sleep and we hadn't for a long time. What are we going to do? We know they need to do something so that they can last longer, right? But getting them to go get tested with a sleep apnea test and a CPAP, that was just, we had to have a plan. So you and I talked for quite a while on what to do. And so I got Don to do it first. And then Ray did it after Don did it. And it was just, now I think both our husbands are more healthier because of that. But we had some fun conversations about that. But yeah, now they sleep better and hopefully, I know I sleep better. And I'm hoping that you still do as well. But that was so memorable. Let's see. What else do I have? I wanted to just tell you, one of the reasons I love you so much is because of the influence you've had on our children. Now take Rachel, for example. Oh my goodness. When you really lit her up that you love the county fair, and of course Rachel loved the county fair because of her goats and all her projects, and when you guys would come and see her and support her and encourage her in that, she would talk for the whole rest of the year about, conversations you two had and the pictures you took together and your love for the county fair just even more endeared Rachel to you. She already loved you with all her heart. But when you started, and when she would come to Aberdeen for the county fair, she planned her whole year around doing that. And it was really special that you two have that bond together, whether it's cooking or, needlework and crocheting, or whether it's, just sitting and doing nothing. Rachel loved the fact that you two would just sit sometimes and just sit, and you wouldn't have to be doing anything special, just enjoyed sitting together. Rachel loves that. She just loves sometimes the no fuss, no muss. That's precious to her. And it's, And, with Brittany and David, Brittany just loves you to bits. And she hasn't spent years with you. And yet, yeah. And you know how David feels about you. David is just like, oh my goodness. David goes on a different planet when he gets to be with his grandma. So, yeah. And Ethan misses you. He misses you a lot. So it's going to be really precious for Ethan to come for Thanksgiving and be able to see you and be together with everyone. You might have to just set a special spot for Ethan, because I doubt if he's going to leave your side. That's what I'm thinking. The brothers might just fight over which side they get to sit on next to you, because you have over the years created something that is just precious with them, and they love you very much. Let's see, what else do I have on my list here? I could just go on and on. Just go on. Oh, this is a really good one. You in our family are associated with the gift of hospitality. You have the ability to make everyone feel welcome. And I'll tell you, your grandma, cookies from you, our kids love your cookies and your bars. They're just like, oh, I'm sure she's going to have some cookies, or I'm sure she's going to have some bars. They think your bars and your cookies are the best made ever, ever. And so they love your gift to hospitality because they know when they're with you, everybody just gathers. Everybody just gathers around and we talk and we chat and we have fun. And you just have the wonderful gift of making people feel welcome. And that's how I felt when I first met you. I felt like I was already part of the family, and I wasn't yet. So maybe that was one of the reasons why. Oh yeah, that Don guy. Oh yeah, there's him. Let's see, what else do I have here? Well, I could, if I go on another tangent, this could be, like I said, hours, days, or week long. I just want to let you know how much I love you and how much it's been a joy over these 43 years to have you be my mother-in-law. And so, happy birthday, precious one. We'll see you soon, and I'm sending you all my love.